Hey, hello, everybody. Welcome to a new Thursday show. I don't know if I'm going to do this every week or I'm going to do it on another day, or maybe I do it multiple times throughout the week. But many of you know that I have stepped up my efforts to help job seekers all around the world. I'm doing it in large part because my good friend Kirsty Bonner is no longer with us here on planet Earth. She's gone. It's very sad. Getting over it, moving on in a certain sense, doing the work that needs to be done. And one of the things that I decided to do was to post daily on social media to help job seekers with tips. And the idea of this show is going to be very simple. I'm going to answer questions from job seekers. If I have job seekers that I think might be interesting to bring on as guests, I'm going to bring them on and introduce you. If I find recruiters I want to bring on, I'm going to bring them on. And if I find anybody in the career industry that I want to highlight, I'm going to bring them on. Look, the idea with Project Help You Grow has always been to bridge the gap between the job seeker who needs a job and the employer and the recruiter who have jobs or job openings that they need to fill. Bring them together. It's 100% free. Don't charge for it at all. Never have. Not in the look. I've been Project Help You Grow has been around for over 2 years. We're going on our third year now. Our birthday for the website officially is September 22nd, but the project has been around since June of 2018, and kind of took a couple months to build itself up. So we got the website and everything, but we've been around a long time, and we've helped hundreds of thousands of people in this space around the world, and I'm excited to do it. So with no further ado, here's the deal. Got any questions? I don't care what it is. You ask me. Free fire away your questions. If I like them, I will. Yeah, I know what this is about. This is the sadness that my friend is gone. Trust me, I am still reeling from it a little bit. But, I hear her in my head. So it's almost like she's not completely gone. In fact, I was talking to somebody the other day, and it's my pleasure to do this, by the way. The other day, somebody was asking me, they're like, okay, so Kirsty had helped them find a job, which she helped a lot of people find jobs. But now, like 9 months later or something like that, she is in an awkward position because she's being recruited by another company that's offering more money. And she was curious what Kirsty would say. Let me help you with that. If you have two options, whether it's at the same time or you're in a current role and you're considering another role, here's the thing that Kirsty would say. What would make you happiest? Forget about the paycheck for a moment. Just consider what is it that would make you the happiest. That's the thing that Kirsty learned as she got a little bit older. I hate to say old. She wasn't old. She passed away at 50 years old. So I have an opportunity. Okay, don't do that, Kevin, or I will block you. I'm not interested in spam. All right. I'm trying to put up real help for folks. Not this isn't a place to spam folks. So if you do it again, adios amigo. You'll be out of here. So I don't mind if you let people know about your opportunity, but just be respectful of my space or you're gone. So that'll be that. But what Kirsty Bonner, back to the story, Kirsty Bonner would tell you quite frankly that quality of life is something that you can't put a dollar amount on per se, right? Of course, we need to make enough to pay our bills. Of course we do. So there's that. But I don't care whether we're talking about fractional work like I posted about yesterday, we're talking about international work like I posted about earlier today, whether it's two competing offers that you're considering in the same industry, in the same area. I mean, all those things, you just have to weigh it out. But ultimately, what she's going to tell you is to pursue your passions and to consider, all the intangibles, commute, benefits, lifestyle that it affords, maybe the culture in the companies that are offering, do you have any friends, for example, working in one and not the other? I mean, there's all kinds of different things. And only you can determine which of those criteria are the most important to you. But ultimately, the money is just one part of it. Don't take a job that pays you a lot more, but you're going to be miserable every single second. That's the advice that Kirsty would give in that situation. So I hope that helps. So if y'all have any questions, again, I'm going to open this up to the floor. So yeah, Kevin, you're on notice, man. For you, you just need to like lay off your keyboard a little bit. I don't let anybody hog the comments, and certainly if you're trying to pitch people, like you said, if you have a legitimate opportunity, go to projecthelpyougrow.com and list it. You can list it for free, and then you can also go through the candidates and you can see if anybody meets your needs there too. But this isn't the place to sell in the comments. Okay. So I'm scrolling through comments. I am looking to see if I have any questions. I thought Kevin's was a question because it was so long, but it turned out it was to be spam. Okay, so Kevin, you are now officially blocked, so I will block you in just a second. All right, so if you guys want to be blocked from my show, that's really all you got to do is do stupid stuff like that, and I'll block you. It's really that simple. I'm not interested in people getting spammed on my site. Look, I'm very, very protective of my audience. Not because I don't think you guys aren't grown-ups and you can't do things on your own, but I take a responsibility for everything that I do, including who can watch my audience. Oh, that's a bummer. See, I was following you and now you're unfollowed. And now I blocked it too. Bummer. Okay, so goodbye. All right, so from now on, if I see spam from people, I just delete it. So if anybody has a question, go ahead and put it in the comments. Let's see it. I've got all kinds of people saying hi, which is cool. And then I had, of course, the guy that I need to block, who has now been blocked. So you don't have to block him. If you like what he was saying, go ahead. But I just don't like the fact that he was selling on my show. All right. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for questions, because I don't see any questions yet in the comments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Actually, hang on a second. Let me go to, well, actually, let me do this. I'm going to go to my LinkedIn post first. So my LinkedIn post today, are you guys following along on LinkedIn? If you are, okay, so this is the post that I put up earlier today. Are you looking for to find a job in a foreign country? Now, on Project Help You Grow, if you come to the website, I have a couple different blog articles and podcasts on this topic. And the post today was inspired from that. But here, I'm going to just show you. This is the article that I referenced the advice from. Now, in this particular case, this is a one-of-a-kind blog because I had a guest, Juliana Robbie, on my podcast, actually 2 different times. And she is what I consider one of the foremost experts in landing a foreign job because she comes from the recruiter space and before that, the HR space. She's worked both sides and she's immigrated herself, with a foreign job. So she's got lots of experience. She's been doing this for like 15 to 20 years. So she's been in the market. So anyways, the post today came from originally the podcast, which you could find right here on YouTube or just go to podcast. But then this whole article is got a lot of different detail on strategies that you can employ to find a foreign job. And the post today for me, the genesis of the post comes from that advice. So hopefully that helps you. Again, I'm not trying to, this isn't a commercial for Project Help You Grow by all means. This is, just one of those things I'm waiting for questions. Here's a question here. Ira, in your opinion, is it useful to pay for Surface CV Pass? Yes. Yes and no. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to hide the question only because, well, maybe I can do it this way. My face is so small with this question up. So let me get to that. Okay, should you pay somebody to write your resume or your CV? Which, by the way, if you don't know the difference between a CV and a resume, I actually do explain the difference in the FAQ or the FAQ section, frequently asked questions, of Project Help You Grow. But for all intents and purposes, wherever you are determines if you use a CV or a resume. And really, it's just the length and the details that you put in are the main differences. But do I recommend that someone write it for you? Yes, if you can afford it. And I do have suggestions on that. I like, personally, Job Ready Today. and then specialized resume services. Those are the two that I typically recommend. Curtis Tompkins and Lisa Jones, their websites are listed on projecthelpyougrow.com on the partners tab if you want to find it. Here's why I like it. Because most people, 3 out of 4 people who are applying on a job site through a website, their resume, their CV is 100% getting blocked 3 out of 4 times. 75% of resumes or CV submissions that are getting sent in are being rejected before a human being ever sees it because the formatting is not correct. And so what I suggest you do, if you want to do this for free, go to projecthelpyougrow.com and read my article. Here, I'll bring it up. Read this article. Hang on, let me share my screen so you guys can watch me do this, okay? So come here to the blog if you want to do it for free. And the one that you're going to be looking for, now Keyword Ninjas is a good one to read because it's going to teach you how to keyword match. A lot of people don't understand what I mean by that. Read this article. Again, you don't need an account or anything else to read these things. It's 100% free. You don't have to have an account. You can just go click on it and read it. But this is the article that a lot of people should read. This is how to set up your resume or your CV so that you don't get immediate rejection, which is what we were just talking about, right? So for Dana's question, read this. Make sure that your CV or your resume complies with all these things. And then I give you tips on how to make it even better. You can do that for free. But if you have trouble writing or you're not a technical person, you might want to have somebody pay to write it. Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you, though. This is super important for you to listen to now. Do not have a one-size-fits-all approach, even if you pay somebody to write your CV or your resume. Here's what I mean. That Keyword Ninjas article addresses this in spades. They're going to write you a base model unless you send them the job description that they're writing it for so they can keyword match. Because beyond getting through the front door without an immediate rejection, so 3 out of 4 people are getting rejected immediately, but of all the others, the other 25% that make it through, still the companies are only going to interview so many folks. The ones they're going to interview are the ones that keyword match the best for the job description the way it was actually written. So you have to take your terms and you have to massage them. I'm not talking about a whole rewrite. So you get a resume CV writer, professional, to write the base, and then you still have to go in and edit for each specific job. You're not rewriting it. You're not fabricating anything. You're just changing terms. For example, I've been in sales for a long time, 20 plus years of business-to-business sales experience, right? So sometimes they'll use account manager, account executive. They'll use sales. They might use selling. Whatever terms they use, I need to make sure that my resume, my CV, has those specific terms in it. Not similes, not words that are close or mean the same thing, because it's being read by or screened by artificial intelligence. It's not smart enough to know that those are similes, although it should be, but it isn't. So if you want to earn that interview, you need to do that keyword matching. Hopefully that helps. Okay. So I don't know who else I'm supposed to block, but I already blocked Kevin. He's gone. So if he's still in here, let me know because I blocked him. He should be out. All right. How do you list multiple jobs for one company on your resume? Okay. So what I do is, and I've had this happen before. In fact, for me, I worked for California Survey and Drafting Supply a couple different times, but also I worked for them in two different locations. So my first go around, I think it was 2006 to 2010, something like that. I started in the Bay Area and then I moved to Las Vegas with them. And then I came back and I worked for them again here in 2017 to 2019. So what I did is I split the 2 different times, right? The 2006 to 10 and the 2017 to 2019. I split those out like they were separate jobs, even though it's the same company. And then for the position or the time where I served in 2 different locations and had a little bit different job description because of the role, the location difference. What I did is I put the years inside it, what I did from 2006 to 2008 2008, I think, and then from 2008 to 2009. So I just treated that as one job, but highlighted what I did inside it. Now, that's a good question for a resume writing professional. And if you, again, if you're looking for somebody that I recommend, look up Curtis Tompkins. He can help you with that too and setting that up. What other platforms for job search? I'm using LinkedIn and Indeed. A lot of people like Indeed. I'm not a huge Indeed fan. I have millions of job listings on Project Help You Grow, so you can use that. Now, my jobs, the ones that don't come from the recruiters or myself directly, are backfilled by ZipRecruiter. And I actually, when I'm job searching, that's one of the websites that I would use, is ZipRecruiter. I think it's just personal preference, though. A lot of those jobs, you have to be careful with any job board jobs because a lot of them are stale. Here's what I mean by that. You get a job that somebody put on their website, somebody pulled it into his Indeed or ZipRecruiter, Project Help Grow, wherever we pulled it, and then everybody else copies it. Okay. But the job board that was originally put on, the job was put on by the recruiter or the HR person, they're going to update usually that website, but not all the others. So if it wasn't originally on Indeed or Glassdoor or ZipRecruiter or fill in the blank, and there's so many different websites that do this, you can find a job that is no longer available, right? It's already been position filled, and you think you have a legitimate opportunity for this job, and you really don't. And nobody ever gets back to you, and they don't feel like they're obligated because they didn't even put the job on that website to begin with, right? So when I hear people say things like, well, I've applied to hundreds of jobs and not heard back from any of them, that's part of the reason why, is because you're applying for jobs through these boards that don't even have anything to do really with the job itself. It's just they're filling up their information. And I understand why they do it, because they get paid for advertising and things like that. There are no ads on Project Help You Grow. The other thing that I do on Project Help You Grow that nobody else does is I set a 60-day limit, so expiration date, on every job that comes on. So if it's listed natively on Project Help You Grow, and you can tell because it has the icon or the logo of the company, that's how you know those are Project Help You Grow specific jobs. Those default dates are 60 days, meaning after 60 days, you're not going to find that job on my board. Less stale jobs. That's why I like Project Help You Grow. You don't have to have an account. I don't sell your information to any third parties. There is no pop-up advertisements. I mean, all the different things which drive me insane about the other boards. That's why, I had Dealers League create Project Help You Grow the website for me in the first place. And it's something, even after I've taken over the management of it myself, because I own Bowman Digital Media now, I have not changed. Project Help You Grow is a philanthropy. The idea is to help you find the job, not to soak you for money. Okay. Google Jobs. Actually, I like Google Jobs too. I don't know who this is because it's, not pulling your data over. That's in your security settings, by the way. You can open that up and share it so that third-party apps can pull your data. But I like to use Google search. Like if you say, I'm looking for a job, whatever, architecture in Saudi Arabia, or accounting in Dublin, Ireland, or sales in Los Angeles, California. If you go to just Google and do that, man, Google does a great job. And again, it's free. So there's that. You don't have to have an account for it, and you don't have to even allow it to track you. So that's kind of cool. My website is projecthelpyougrow.com. It's right above my head here on the screen. So it's pretty simple. That's my website. I own that. That's why I talk about it so much. And because if I can help people with information, I put it on my website. If you like what I write on LinkedIn, it's more and more of that, because I don't have character limitations, and I can put up videos, and I have people who come on my podcast, and this is how I get the information. I'm a nerd. I study all the time. And when I study, I like to share what I find, especially on the Project Help You Grow stuff or the job search stuff, because it's, there to help you get it for free. Yeah. So Glasscow, I do get stuff from Glasscow that I put up there. This is typically what I recommend, Shannon. If you are, in a specific job search in a specific area, if you send me your Project Help You Grow profile, I'll digest it and I'll try to help you find jobs when I'm looking for jobs, because I look for jobs every day, and I try to add new jobs to Project Help You Grow every single day. Last night I did some for JP Chase Morgan Company. So if I have you in my mind because you're communicating with me, like, hey, I'm looking for, I don't know, whatever you're looking for. I don't even. But he could be accounting. Like I said, there's so many different jobs: office management, administration, virtual assistant. I mean, any type of job. Legal. I had somebody that was trying to be a legal assistant in LA when I first started Project Help You Grow. And so every time I would look in the LA area, I would search for legal assistants to see if I could help her find a job. I didn't mind, right? So if you DM me with your Project Help You Grow profile and tell me exactly what you're looking for in Glasgow, I'll try and find something for you. Okay. Yeah, so that's not accurate. Okay. There's nobody posting jobs fictitiously that I know of, at least. But here is what's happening, Valerie, and this might be what you're running into, and I've already kind of addressed it. What happens is an HR person will put up a job listing on, you name the website. Could be ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Project Help You Grow, it doesn't matter. Any website. Everybody else comes to that website, grabs that information, and shares it on their site too, because they get paid for volume, right? Advertisers pay them for people to come to their site. That's why they're doing it. Okay, that's what makes Project Help You Grow unique. I don't take the money from advertisements, and there are no advertisements on my site. But what happens is the job, especially right now, gets filled pretty quickly. There's a lot of competition, if you haven't noticed, for jobs right now. Unemployment rate is very high across the globe. So every position is got more people applying to it. So these positions are getting filled pretty fast. And because they're getting filled pretty fast, the job listing is normally being pulled down off of that native site, the original site that it was put on. But that's as far as the HR person takes it. They don't know to reach out to all these other sites. And even if they did, they don't feel, again, the obligation to, because they didn't ask the other site to put the information up in the first place. So the due diligence really should be on the website owners to manage their inventory. And trust me, that's something as the owner of Project Help You Grow, I think about every single day, which is why I put that 60-day expiration date. A job goes up, it comes back down 60 days later, unless the job owner extends the time. And I also have given my employers the ability to put position filled. It's not going to email you out and tell you the position is filled, but if you come back and check like 3 weeks later and the position was filled, at least it'll tell you the position has been filled, so you know. Because that's part of the frustration, let's be honest, as a job seeker. You think you have a legitimate shot at a job because you read the job description and you feel like you're the perfect match. You're like, I should at least get an interview, call back, something. And then you get ghosted, but you're not really being ghosted. You're applying to a job through a web portal that isn't really tied to the owner. Here's another advantage of Project Help You Grow. Every single job, if you hit apply on my site, projecthelpyougrow.com, it's going to take you to the native site of the company who is hiring. You're not going through Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or any of them else. You're not even going through Project Help You Grow. I'm taking you as a bridge to the company's direct website so that you're in direct communication with the HR hiring manager of the company that's actually hiring. And if the job is gone, you'll see it right there on their website. That's how Project Help You Grow works. That's why I like Project Help You Grow so much. Okay. Speaking of people on Project Help You Grow, this is my friend Kelly Robinson. Now, Kelly Robinson is someone unique to me because she's not only a recruiter, she not only is on my partnership tab for Pananos, which is a unique talent management company, because they not only help people hire employees, they also help make sure they stay happy, right? The management of the talent, because it's harder to keep the talent, believe it or not, than it is to find the talent sometimes. So Kelly does that, but she also is my only Project Help You Grow sponsor. She pays money every month. In fact, I just got a another installment yesterday, I believe, from Kelly. She's been doing this for almost a year now, I believe. I mean, it's been a minute, right? So I really appreciate her. I am looking, in full disclosure, I'm looking for more Project Help You Grow sponsors because my ultimate goal is to get an app. The apps are more expensive to run and maintain and develop, frankly, than the websites. So I can't afford to finance that out of my own pocket like I do the website. So Kelly's been helping me with that, and I've been taking that money, setting it aside. Eventually, I'm going to have more sponsors, I hope, and I'll be able to give you an app that will work on your smart devices. So that's the goal there with sponsors, in case anybody's curious. Do I know any legitimate remote working option sites that offer this? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Just clarify what you mean by legitimate remote working options. Are you talking about people that allow you to work from home? Remote jobs are something that we offer on Project Help You Grow. At least when I find them, I list them, and the employers can. I'm finding more jobs are being done right now remotely. So if you're looking for a work from home option, I think that that's something that you can certainly find right now. Yeah, it's always nice to to help your friends, especially the ones that are helping you in return, which is pretty good. Do I know any resume writer companies? Yes, I do. So I have two that I recommend. I have Curtis Tompkins in, he's out of South Carolina, North Carolina. He's out of Charlotte. But you can go Job Ready Today. If you go to my partners tab on Project Help You Grow, they're both there. Specialized Resume Services is the other one. Her name is Lisa Jones. She's up in Minnesota, I believe, but they're both in the United States. But they can help you. They have websites and they can write your resumes. That's who I use. If you need a CV written, Galena Daniel, I believe is her name, and I can put you in touch with her. She wrote the first guest blog for me on Project Help You Grow, so she's been helping me with the webs, with that from almost the day I launched the site. So, yeah, I second that. It's Kelly's doing a great job. She's got, I think, over 100 jobs even on her website. So you could go to pannaknows.com, which is just PANNAKNOWS.com. And there's jobs on there too, if you want to find more. If you have questions, again, if you have any questions for me, just go ahead and put them in the comments. I am perusing the question or the comments right now. There we go. What other platforms for job search? LinkedIn, Indeed. Oh, I think we already did this one actually. So I guess I've gotten them all so far. I love the questions in the comments. Please keep them coming. Catherine, Kelly says, thank you. And here is her website, by the way. It's pannaknows.com. Again, all these websites, the resume writers, all of it, job search assistants, coaches, career coaches that are on there. I still recommend KirstyBonner.com, even though she's not with us. Her team is still at work. So you can go to KirstyBonner.com as well for career coaching services. So Project Help You Grow is a free gateway for a lot of people who, do this for a living. And I don't mind them making money, even though Project Help You Grow is the free resource. I always tell people, Project Help You Grow was designed to just be the bridge. I'm just connecting folks. That's really my goal. That's why, sometimes people go, well, how many people have found a job through Project Help You Grow? And I go, I have no idea. I can tell you how many people visit my site. I could tell you how many recruiters use my site every day. I could tell you how many employers I have. I could tell you how many job listings I have. I could tell you how many candidates I have. By the way, we're over 9,100 active candidates right now on Project Help You Grow, which is a record for me. Okay. So people use it. And my authority score keeps going up. The domain rank on Project Help You Grow is 50, which is really, really good, especially for a company that's never spent a dime, not a single penny on advertising. I'm really proud of that. So thank you guys for using the site. It is helping to accomplish its mission. LinkedIn algorithm show and have a top 10% of applicants. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything to anybody. It really doesn't. So here's the deal. Here's what he means. So you go, look at a job listing on LinkedIn and it says you're in the top 10% of the candidates based on what, right? Don't trust that at all. What you really need to do is just like you do with your resume. You need to keyword match. So you go through that job listing and you look at it, with a critical eye and go, okay, I can do this job. I know I can do this job. That's step one, right? So you've identified. And if it's saying you're in the top 10%, that's really good. Okay. But your resume still has to keyword match for that job or you're not going to get a shot. It has to follow all the ATS compliance rules, or you're not going to get a shot. Don't know what the ATS compliance rules are, don't know how to keyword match? Well, you're in luck, because I'll teach you for free if you just go to my blog and read it, projecthelpyougrow.com. Now, you can also just go to my profile on LinkedIn if you'd like and read the articles that I've shared on LinkedIn, because I've shared how to do these things on LinkedIn too. You don't have to go to Project Help You Grow. I don't make any money off Project Help You Grow at all. So if you never go there, it doesn't hurt my feelings. It's just a repository where I've put all this stuff to help. But if you just want to get the help on LinkedIn, you don't ever want to go off. You don't need to, right? Yeah, this is something that's a serious deal. I know look, you have to be really careful, okay? A guru, an expert, a coach, what does that really mean? You know what I mean? People can charge you money and still do it wrong. What you really need to do is validate. I like to tell people this. Look for some people who've given them good referrals. Look at how many times they've been endorsed for a skill. Go to their website and see if it's legitimate. You know what I mean? Like, be a little bit skeptical of who you trust. Do some research. That's why people keep coming back to me. You know, I'm not the world's most handsome person. I'm certainly not the smartest, but I'm a nerd and I studied this stuff. And when people say things that don't make sense, I call them out for it, which is why I'm not the most popular person in the world either. But the fact is, this is too important for you to be led astray by a wolf in sheep's clothing. So shed that wool, if you will, and get to someone who's actually going to have your best interest at heart. I'm not interested in scammers, con artists, any of that stuff. People who want to fake it till they make it. Don't be don't be their guinea pig. So that's why I recommend Curtis Tompkins and Lisa Jones. They've both been writing resumes for a decade or more, right? They know what the ATS is because I've talked to them about it. I've seen examples of their work, and that's why I recommend them. Okay, so be careful who you trust out there. Very good point. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to think I'm a pretty good writer, but you know, it's hard to say because the problem with that is, you know, it just seems like I'm bragging or whatever. But I do like to think that I'm pretty good. How to ask for referrals on LinkedIn? Great question, and something that you all should be doing. One of the things that you have to keep in mind about life in general, if you want something, typically people are willing to trade you if you give them something that they want, right? So maybe ask them, hey, would you be willing to write me a referral if, you know, I write you one? Let's trade referrals. That's a strategy that I've used before. I frankly don't ask for referrals very much anymore because I've got a ton of them and I'm thankful for them. But if like so now it's different because I'm a business owner. So I'm not looking for a job anymore. That's the goal. So I can keep Bowman Digital Media running, which is how I make my living, by the way, guys. So if you're wondering how I can do Project Help You Grow for free, I've always just paid for it out of my own pocket. But now as a business owner, it's easier because, you know, I don't have set work hours and I can do this right in the middle of the day. I don't have to worry about, well, I'm supposed to be making my sales calls or hit my quota or whatever. So I don't necessarily need referrals. I'm actually looking for referrals from my clients for the things I was just talking about. Look for people who are, you know, go to bowmandigitalmedia.com and you'll see I've got a testimonial page, right? It's, you know, people telling you about what I did for them and why you should hire me for the things that you need. Okay. But as a job seeker, you don't need to do that. You go to Project Help You Grow, you use my site for free. I'm not going to charge you for anything. Okay. So, but the strategy is the same, whether you're in sales and you're looking for a referral for that or for customers. You know, I tell business owners all the time, like, look, if you want people to put your website on their website, then why don't you create a partners tab and put them on yours? Now you might understand why I have a partners tab on Project Help You Grow. I'm trying to help people, but I'm also asking them to share Project Help You Grow on their website. And for the most part, they do. I have a few of them that don't get it, right? But for the most part, if they're on mine, I'm on theirs. And so you can do the same thing with referrals there, right? And referrals are important. Recruiters look at referrals, but let me tell you even more. If you're going to have these referrals, if you're going to request them, make sure that A, it's relevant to what you're trying to do. and it's from somebody who would know, right? You just can't have a random person write you a referral. They've never worked with you before. They don't know your industry. It doesn't help, right? Because a recruiter is going to look through that. In fact, I would rather have 2 really good referrals than 15 that are just fluff. So in it, look for quality. What do I mean by quality? It addresses why you're good at something and how you're good at something from somebody who's in that industry that would know, because recruiters will pay attention to that. I'm on her website for sure. I helped put it together a little bit. I love working with Kelly. Social stuff, yeah, social stuff is what I do the best, I think. Okay, here we go. Suggestions for those who have worked for abusive employers and made them extremely successful, but such employers refuse to provide positive references. Yeah, so I've had that. Catherine, and first of all, I apologize that you had to endure it. I hope that you are in a better situation now. Look, I worked for a company that was toxic. There's no other way to say it. Classic toxic. They had acquired a bunch of previous rivals, and they, then when they brought them in, they never really like changed the management of those rivals. And so, now you're supposed to be on the same team, but you're really frenemies. And I was a sales manager for 2 different locations that hated each other. And I was kind of like, the person they could agree all to hate because they thought I was a spy, I guess, for the other one. I don't know. I really could never figure it out. I tried to change the culture from the inside out, but I didn't have the authority because I was middle management, or really a step above a supervisor, frankly. So I didn't have the authority I needed to make those changes. And the people above me didn't necessarily agree that there was a problem even, which is crazy, but it is what it is. So I don't have references from anyone above me in that position, which is really tough. But I do have some clients that gave me referrals. So that's one way you could do it. Depending on if you did have any interaction with vendors or clients from that time, you can use that. So you can reach out to them and go, hey, look, in fact, some of my best referrals are from my clients at that time because, I'm good at what I do. Also, I was a manager of employees. So I have some referrals from some of my team. That helps too. So you may not get references from everybody that you've ever worked for. And that's just a reality. And some people are just jerks, and some of them don't use LinkedIn, which is the other thing. Now, I want to give you a tip. Here's a tip. How do you get a referral from somebody who isn't on LinkedIn, but it's willing to actually write you an old school reference letter? You want to know what you do? You scan it, or you have them email you the PDF or whatever, and then you save that in your profile, right? So now in our profiles, I'm going to go to LinkedIn real quick because I just got to remember the exact terminology. It's called featured. So take that thing and make that a featured. So it doesn't quite count the same as a reference down in your profile, but when people look at your LinkedIn profile, they'll actually see it before they even get there. So that's another way to kind of circumnavigate if you need to. If you're not taking advantage of that featured section, by the way, which is awesome, I have all kinds of stuff on there. I have the Ira guide. I have a thing from Brenda Muller's Rockstar list. I have some commercial stuff for my Bowman Digital Media. And anyways, take advantage of that, because when people are going through, that can help you introduce yourself. I also recommend that you go to a video recording service like Zoom or whatever. Record an introduction video. Keep it to 3 minutes or so. Just introduce yourself. Give people a little taste of your personality. They can get to know you a little bit. It's almost like a rapport building. And if you do that, like a friendly thing, put that in your feature, then when they go to review your profile, they can get a sense of your professionalism and your personality, something that they may not be able to just glimpse off of, what they're reading about you. And any little head advantage that you can get like that, I think you should use it to your advantage, technology. Who works for people not on LinkedIn? Believe it or not, there are a lot of them. And they usually come in the form of SMB business owners, small to medium-sized business owners. There's a lot of them, 55 plus. that are not on LinkedIn at all. They might have a profile, but they're not actually on LinkedIn. Usually somebody like me created their profile for them and set it up so we could put it on their website, but they don't really use it. And the other thing, in case you guys don't know this, the average age or the medium age group for people on LinkedIn is 33 to 47. So if you're working for a manager or a business owner that's older than 47, they may not be on LinkedIn. The demographics say that they're more likely not to be at that case. So that will make a big impact. Yeah, the video, because people are always curious, like, well, how professional are they? How do you speak? How well spoken are you? Are you friendly? Are you a jerk? I mean, look, the video can help you gain an advantage on all your competition who didn't use one by showing that now you've got all your work history there and what you're trying to accomplish. So they've got an idea of who you are professionally, but now they get an idea of what you're going to be like in the culture. And culture is so important. Catherine, you are flattering me. You're gonna make me blush if you don't stop. All right. Okay, so let's talk about keywords. I don't have any new questions in the queue that I can see. So if you have a question and I missed it, go ahead and retype it. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go to my article called Keyword Ninjas. And I believe I put this up on LinkedIn too, but anyways, it's right here. And this is on, oh, I got to delete this comment, not delete it, but remove it. There we go. Okay. So this is on Project Help You Grow, but I believe I also have it on LinkedIn in my articles. Okay. But the big thing about keywords, when I tell people they need to, hang on a second, I'm going to come over here. When I tell people they need to keyword optimize their website, their resume, or I need them to optimize their resume to match the job listing, a lot of people are confused by what I mean. What I do not mean is you need to make up anything. I do not mean you need to fabricate anything. I do not mean you need to stretch the truth. All I'm saying is the terminology that you use in your resume is probably not going to match perfectly the terminology that they used in the job listing. And when they do their keyword screen to figure out how close of a match you are to what they're looking for, they're going to use their terminology, not yours. So you have to bend because you want the job, right? There's one of them and thousands of you looking for this job. So how do you get into that interview round is you're going to adjust every single time your resume to match the wording as long as it's accurate. So what is keyword matching? Keyword definition. Keywords are descriptive words that the human resource or internal recruiter have inserted into the ATS for the specific job listing. So let me pause right there. What is the ATS? A lot of you guys are confused by this. What is the ATS? Applicant tracking system is designed not just to screen you out and make your life difficult. I know that's what a lot of you think, but it's actually designed to track you from the moment you apply to the moment you sign all your pre-hire paperwork, right? To make sure you're in the system. Your background check, your drug screen, orientation, all of that stuff. It all goes in there. But in this particular case, what they do is they take the job listing. It's like a CRM, if you will, right? It's a program. So they're going to take that job listing and put it in, but then they're going to, on the side, have a little thing that they populate going, here's 30 words or here's 50 words that are the most important. And when we do the screen, these are the words we're looking for. But the HR person who puts it in usually just copies and pastes it straight out of the job listing. So what are the most important words? If you don't know, Kirsty Bonner would tell you, take your job listing that you have, throw it up on a website called Tag Crowd, and then the more the word is used, it'll actually grow. So the thought being the keywords are going to be the ones they use more times. Now, that's not always true, right? And Kirsty and I talked about that, but it is a help. You can also go to jobscan.co and get up to 5 scans for free. So if you haven't used those 5, go ahead and do that. And I'll tell you, if you have, just go ahead and create another Gmail. You can make as many as you want. Those are free too. and just keep doing it until you find the job. So anyways, there's some job tips for you. But back to this now, okay? They're looking for the perfect candidate. So that the keywords are the ingredients that they're going to use, right? So when your resume or cover letter doesn't use the same words, that's the problem. Even if there's similes or like words, you need to use words that actually match. Okay. Here's one of my former interns. She's telling you it works. It absolutely works. It's a lot of work, but it works. So you got to do the homework. Okay. Thank you very much, LJ. I really appreciate that compliment. Very nice. Okay. So here we go. So reviewing the job listing you want, scan for the phrases that are repeated. Now, what I tell people to do in my resume writing blog, which is the other one, How to Earn the Interview, I tell you to pull out a highlighter and highlight you want to take a highlighter and highlight the words in one color that are in the resume, or I'm sorry, in the job listing that seem to be the keywords. Then you want to go to your resume and find the same words and highlight those same color. Then figure out which ones are missing. But then take another highlighter and highlight the words that mean the same thing but are different words. And then you go into your Word or whatever and you edit it and you make those similes over into the keywords. And that's how you keyword match. Anyways, this is a free. Bye, Kelly. Take it easy. This is a free resource, guys. So there's really no reason for you ever to struggle with keyword matching ever again. It will 100% increase your odds of getting an interview, I promise you, if you read and follow this article. Now, if you read all my articles and find it, you're going to find a job. Because what I'm telling people to do, the advice that I'm giving people is not what I think works. It's what I know works. Because I talk to recruiters all day long. I talk to employers. I talk to hiring managers. I talk to career coaches. I talk to resume writers. I talk to candidates. I talk to everybody. So I get my information from that. I also, just so you know about the ATS, I did about a 2-month study on the ATS. I reached out to the actual manufacturers, software manufacturers of the people who write the programs themselves. And there's thousands of them, by the way, which is crazy. It's one of the problems that you guys have and you don't even know it. Different ATS programs have different rules. So what I've given you are the guidelines that are, it's not really the industry best practices. I wish they would come out with that because then everybody could use it. But I've pretty much given you industry best practices as far as I could boil it down. Okay. What are some keywords that can be used to describe your job points in your resume instead of using typical things responsible for or assisted with words that may be more interesting? Yep. Forget interesting on the resume. Okay. It's not about interesting. Every job listing is going to require a different resume because of the keywords. Because if you always have to keep the ATS rules in mind, right? What they are, like, for example, using only a couple different font types, not having any font sizes smaller than size 10, not using any colored ink. So in other words, only black font, no horizontal lines, no underlines. So like your email address, if you have a hyperlink, an active hyperlink, that'll kill you on a lot of the ATS programs. And what do I mean by that? I mean, you're not even going to get a shot to have your resume read because you didn't know that the hyperlink, it's blue font and it's underlined, and that's 2 immediate rejection kills for most ATS programs. You're sending in a PDF. Well, a lot of the ATSs don't accept PDFs. Again, you're out immediately. We were told forever, I mean, over a decade, to always use PDF. It's the safest thing because people can't change it and whatever. And that is still true. But because the ATS programs don't recognize the PDF as a document, they recognize it as a photograph. When they go to extract your information and put it in the ATS program, it's like you submitted a blank, 0. You have a 0 keyword match and you're out automatically because you don't qualify for the job. You don't meet the minimum requirements. Is it crazy? It 100% is, but is it the truth? 100% is. Okay. So back to this question. What are keywords that you can use? There are no one-size-fit-all answers here, Stacy. This is the whole point of this. This is why most people fail. They go out and they write what they think is the perfect resume, or they go out and they hire somebody to write their resume, and they think, okay, this was professionally written. It's better than what I could do on my own. I'm always going to use it. And both are wrong because of the keyword matching. So there's two things that you always have to keep in mind. The ATS rules have to be met always. And then you have to keyword match for that specific job listing. So if you pay somebody to write your resume, make sure that they write it ATS rules, and you can treat that like the rough draft for every job listing. But then for each submission, before you submit it, you go in and you do the keyword alteration or optimization, if you will, make those adjustments. Again, you're not fabricating anything. You're just changing the words to match what the specific job listing says. And then you're going to get through that ATS because it's ATS compliant, and you're going to have a great shot at earning the interview because you're going to have a high keyword match, which is going to put you up higher on the pile. You want to be number one, but you don't have to be number one to get the interview round. You just have to be above the cut line. So if they get 3,000 submissions and they're going to interview 30 people, then you need to be in the top 30. You understand? So in that case, you got to be top 1%. And that's just the reality of it. Keyword matching is what keeps most people out of the interview round. Okay? So keyword match. It takes more than you knowing you're qualified for the job. You have to show that you're qualified for the job, and you show it by using their terminology. Okay? She knows. She's been through my training. Sabrina's somebody you could reach out to for help, right? She might charge you, but she is somebody who will help you, and she knows what she's doing. I know because I personally taught her. Okay? Any other questions for me before I go? I'm at 52 minutes. I like to keep my lives to 1 hour. So we'll be out of here in about 7 minutes. But if you have any questions, now's the time. Put them in the comments. If you are not able to understand where the website is, I've been talking about, it's projecthelpyougrow.com. Again, it's 100% free help. You don't have to go there for my help. You can send me a DM on LinkedIn. You can just follow me on LinkedIn. I cannot accept your friend requests on LinkedIn because I've hit their maximum. But if you follow me, I'll follow you back, and you can DM me. And if you comment in any of my posts, I typically respond almost to every single one. I don't always. I do miss some, but for the most part, if you comment on one of my posts, I'm going to respond. That's one of the things people like about me. And then the other thing is, find me on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm on other social media platforms. In fact, today we're broadcasting live from YouTube, from Facebook, and from LinkedIn. Now, full disclosure, I don't accept all Facebook requests, but I do have a company page there for Project Help You Grow and for Bowman Digital Media. You can, of course, subscribe to those and contact me through that as well. But I have a large family, and I put some things on Facebook that are not necessary for the whole world to know or whatever, because I have kids. So it is what it is. But anyways, if you have questions for the show, now is the time. Looks like I got a couple new comments. So let me just check that out and see if we got. Oh, I don't know what that means. You are in top 50%. I don't know what that means. Is this like when you apply for a job or you're looking at a job listing? Is that what you're talking about there, Dana? Because that does, it gives you a little bit of a clue as to where you stack up against other people who have looked at that job. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you, just like somebody else said earlier about being in the top 10%, it doesn't actually matter what LinkedIn says. Just think of that as a clue as to where you stack up. But here's the thing. Some of those 50% of the folks are not going to know about the ATS. They're still going to be submitting job resumes that won't get through the screening process. Come back to what I said. Over 90%. Here's a stat that I didn't use, but I wrote the press release with Bowman Digital Media for Curtis Tompkins' book, Resume Writing Simplified. And one of the facts that I found, 90%, 9 out of 10 Fortune 500 companies are using an ATS. Okay, so if you're applying for a job with the Fortune 500 company, 9 out of 10 times they're using an ATS. Now keep that stat on one side. Now hear this. 3 out of 4 people who apply for a job through the ATS, a company using the ATS, the resume is never seen by a human being because it doesn't get through the screening process. In other words, you have a really, really good chance of getting an interview if you will simply make sure your resume is ATS compliant. But if it's also keyword matched, you're almost assured a shot at the interview. Keyword match an ATS resume, and you will almost assuredly earn that interview, with the caveat that you're actually qualified to do that job. Some people are trying to still do stretch jobs, what we call stretch jobs. A stretch job is, frankly, what a lot of people used to do. Go back a few years ago, and before the ATS became prevalent. Let's say I've been in sales for 10 years, 15 years, whatever, and never been a manager, but I want to ascend into management. Okay, hypothetical. In the past, I would try to switch jobs, and when I switched jobs, I would try to climb the ladder, ascend. Well, that's called a stretch job because I'm not really qualified for it. I'm confident I can do it. In the interview, I've got to, get somebody to believe in me, but that was possible. Well, now because of the ATS, it's almost impossible to get in the interview if you're going through the front gate by the means of a website, right? To get a stretch job promotion now, what you need to do is go around the ATS. And how do you do that? Great question. Somebody should ask me this in the comments. Here's how you do that, Ira. If you want to climb the corporate ladder while changing jobs, what you need to do is get a champion on your side to go around and take your resume around the ATS directly to the HR person or the hiring manager and say, hey, here's a candidate. On paper, I know doesn't look like they're qualified, but I know they would do a good job. So that's where the networking becomes so important, not only for the referrals, but also for the champion to lead you by the hand to the person that's doing the hiring and say, here, you should give this person a shot. Once you're in the interview, the ATS is no longer a problem. You've gotten past the screening. Now you're going to win based on interview merit. So you have just as much a legitimate shot as everybody else who made the interview round. Interviews are super, super important. You don't earn the job with the resume. Earn the job with the interview. But you have to get to the interview round. You have to earn the interview with the resume or by using a champion to take you around. Okay, that puts us at 58 minutes. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I don't see any more questions. Let's see. Slack is an example of a company where the recruiter looks at every resume. I guarantee you that Slack does not look at every resume. Somebody's lied to you there, buddy. Because here's the thing. Nobody can look at every resume that comes through. They might look at every resume that gets through a certain, right? And they may look at more. That's great, but they can't look at them all. There's no way. There's too many resumes coming in. Trust me. This is what I do. It's volume. It would blow you away to see how many resumes come in, even blind resumes. Even when I'm not advertising a position, how many resumes will come in? Nobody can look at them all. Nobody has that kind of staff. Not Slack, not Google, nobody. I mean, it's insane. When I was a hiring manager in Texas, I would turn on a job listing and literally, and this is in a decent economy where the job market was actually the other way. It was harder to hire people because, they had more options. Like they were more in demand. So the employees were kind of like in the driver's seat a little bit. Even then, I would get hundreds of resumes per day. And I'm like, turn that thing off. I would call my HR department, usually 24 to 48 hours after I would turn a job listing on. I would call them and say, hey, you need to turn that off. There's too many. I can't. Because it's a noble thing to think, well, I'm going to look at every single resume. It really is. But the fact is there are what we call knockout questions on resumes where they don't even make it to any eyeballs because they don't make it through the ATS screen. Like, for example, if you have to have a bachelor's degree to be qualified for a job, if you don't have an ATS compliant resume, that's not making it through the screen. It's going to get knocked out. Nobody's going to see it. They might look at every single one that makes it through. That's a little bit more palatable to believe, but still not probable. So again, it sounds good, but not likely. And again, not trying to disparage anybody. It's an impossible dream. You know what I mean? It's super super hard because of the volume. Anyways, guys, this is my time. Project Help You Grow. Again, I don't know the frequency of this show, and I don't know if it's going to be like just once a week or multiple times a week. I'm going to have to play that out, but I will promise you this, just like I did promise you, and I've done it so far. Every day, if you want to come to my profile on LinkedIn, I am going to post something that will help job seekers. Now, it may not help you specifically because there's a variety of topics, but I am going to be covering things for veterans who want to make the transition from the military life to civilian workforce. I'm going to be covering people that like today's topic is a big one. I get this all the time with Project Help You Grow. I live in you fill in the blank country, and I want to work in you fill in the blank other country. It's like the grass is greener on the other side. I don't understand why people think it's going to be so great in that other country, but it seems to be everybody wherever they live, they want to live somewhere else. So whatever. I'm going to help you with that as much as I can. Today's tip was this. Try to find a job locally with a company that has a jobs or an office in the country you want to work in. Get started locally and then transfer later. It takes a little bit more time to do it that way, but your success rate will be much higher, and you'll find it's a much easier pathway, really, even though it does require some patience for a variety of reasons. It's a pretty good strategy to employ. But I'll also be talking about resume stuff, obviously, and I've already done that a little bit. I'll talk about keywords. I'll talk about the ATS. I will talk about interview tips. Let's talk about some technology, too. You might notice I've got a virtual background going. You want to have good lighting. In full disclosure, I have full lights here, and I am in front of a green screen, in full disclosure. So, but a couple things for technology, for example, like always have the camera shooting down on you so they're not looking up your nose. Make sure your sound is relatively good. And again, you want to be well lit. These are things that I typically have to tell job seekers, but you should by now have all this stuff figured out. Somewhere in your house or apartment, hopefully you have a place, even if you have to go outside, where it's well lit, it's quiet, where things aren't going to be distracting. Don't have anything unprofessional, like no drug paraphernalia, no party stuff, none of that stuff in the background. You want the focus to be on you and the interview, and you want to be well lit so they can see your face, because again, this is rapport building. So anyways, I'll be talking about all this stuff on my posts. Again, if you have questions, you can DM me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to send you a response, even if we're not connected. You don't need InMail. Don't use your InMail credits. I've opened it up, so just send me the message. You can find me on Project Help You Grow, of course. That website, again, I don't make any money if you visit it, so visit it, don't visit it. That's up to you. But the website is there as a resource. And as you see, I'm happy to talk about other websites too and refer you to professionals who do what you need. Career coaching, resume writing, all kinds of stuff. Stress relief. I mean, whatever you need, just let me know. And, that's one of the advantages of having a large network. I can help direct you. Because again, that's my ultimate goal with Project Help You Grow. It's a philanthropy. I do this for free. That's why Kirsty Bonner liked me so much, because we were both trying to help people, and we were trying to do it because we like to help people as opposed to, a get rich quick thing, right? That's not the goal. The goal is to help. So if I can help you, let me know. I will go to the Ira guide. Now, I don't have this show on there yet because I haven't sorted it out. And I know, I apologize. I know that's probably not professional, but I want to do the show as much as I can to be a help, but I also don't want to overdo it. So I've got to balance my work life here a little bit. So I will eventually get this on. I will promise you this. I'm going to do it at least once a week. I just don't know exactly if it's going to be on Thursday afternoons or because that's what time it is here in California. It's 3:39 p.m. right now. So I don't know if I'm going to start at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever. I'll figure it out. I will put it on the Ira guide. But if you want to find me, I am on 4 other times during the week. I'm on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday right now. So tomorrow, follow me live. I think starts at 9 a.m. Check the Ira guide. That's on the featured thing for Ira. Follow me if you haven't already. I'll follow you back. I follow everybody back. And I'm excited. I'm almost at 185,000 followers now on LinkedIn. That's pretty good. So also follow Project Help You Grow, the business page on LinkedIn, because sometimes I post the jobs on Project Help You Grow LinkedIn page and not on my profile. So if you're just looking for job listings on LinkedIn, that's another place that you can find them. And I do give these tips. I just created a brand new intro message on Project Help Yours website. I posted it just before I went live here on my LinkedIn page for Project Help Your. Anyways, if you need me for anything, give me a shout. I'm here to help. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful day. We're going to start this music and I'll see you next time. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Follow me live. You got to have fun with this music now. Come on. I can't dance in full disclosure. Thank you all very much. You guys are super awesome. I don't have a name, Sabrina. Help me come up with one. Job Seeker Tips by Ira. Adios, y'all.